Okay, everyone. Hello. It's been a while since I streamed. I've been I've been pretty busy. Well, not really, but I just didn't have the time to. Well, I didn't, or I couldn't find a suitable time to stream. Well, but that's not why I'm streaming today. I'm streaming today because a new update has been released, version 9.4. And in this stream, I just quickly go over the stuff that's been added. I won't. This stream won't be too long. Maybe like an hour or so. No, just to go over the basics, and then I'll also make a video on the new changes, so you won't have to worry about that. Alright, I'll wait for a couple more people to join. And yeah, I mean, this update was a bit unexpected. It was first supposed to be version 9.3.1, but it then got changed into 9.4 because apparently it's too big of an update to, well, just to be like a small patch or something like that. So it's a full update. Right, okay, let's quickly go over the stuff that's been added. We got 4 new planes, the J70 fishbed, the J7G fishbed, both Chinese. Then we have the F-16F Block 60 from the United Arab Emirates. And as far as I'm aware, it's the best F-16 in the game. Performance-wise, it has the highest thrust-to-weight ratio of any F-16. The turn rate isn't highest, which is to be expected from something that's, well, chunky like this. It's a two-seater aircraft. As you can see, there's 2 seats here. It has an extremely good radar, the AN APG-80, a pretty decent RWR, and of course AIM-120C8s, which are basically export AIM-120Ds, as well as SRAMs and A9Xs. So it can carry both, which is pretty cool, I think. And of course the M9S, which is similar to the A9M. There are a couple changes, but I'm not an expert on this exact missile. Oh, not to mention the countermeasures, it has 180 chaff, which is a lot. And it has bombs and rockets. And can't forget about the data link, which is compatible with pretty much all American planes, which are of course the ones being used. And recently I had to do a clean install of Windows because of some hardware related issues. So if my mic sounds a bit weird, I'm still setting things up the way they were before I had to do the clean install. Right, let's actually take a look at the official changelog again. Right, the J7E, which I didn't go over. The J7E is a licensed production of the Chinese licensed production of the Soviet MiG-21. And honestly, I think this is an extremely good addition, especially since we kind of lacked a couple of MiG-21 variants. This isn't exactly a MiG-21. It looks like the MiG-21 F-13, but it's not. But you get what I want to say. I think it's a nice addition, and I will be taking it for a spin in this stream. It only costs 12,000 and it gets PL8s. Not the worst missiles, and performance-wise, it is one of the best in this tier, as far as I can tell from the stats. Right, and then we have the J7G. So this one is in tier 6, this one is in tier 7. And this one gets PL8Bs, an HMD, and of course, better avionics. Countermeasure wise, they're not too bad. 36 flares and 36 chaff on the E fish can is much better than on the G fish can, because the G fish can obviously faces much better missiles, like the M9 Magic 2, and those are not flared as easily. So yeah. Oh, not to mention the gun. 60 rounds of Type 30s, which are basically NR30s, present on the MiG-19 and Su-7B. Pretty good guns, but only having one, and this low ammo count is pretty interesting. Right. We also have the first Pakistani plane in the game, the F-7PG Fishcan, which has pretty interesting armament. It's got M9Ls, same gun, same countermeasures, same performance, and a different radar. At least the name is different. Not sure if there's any differences between the export. I'm not an expert in this area. I will be making a video on it if I ask one of the developers to like give me the test drive to it, in a way. It's not the most. Oh, never mind. It is. Oh, no, it is 2300 Robux. I thought this was the price. And honestly, for a plane that so far seems this good, I think it's worth buying it. 100%. Right, let's just buy all these planes. And let's take a look at what else has been added. The J10C returns as the event plane, and it costs 35 event tokens. This is 5 less from the 40 we had to get in like October, I think the event was. But you do get much less time. We had like 2 months to get it in October, and now it's only 20 days. And if you do get tokens, even if you got the J10C and you get tokens, you get around 25 medals for each event point you get. So potentially you could get 25 times 35. How much is that? Quick maths. That is around 900 medals, something like that. 25 times 30 is 750, and 25 times 5 is 150. Yeah, 850. Exactly 900 medals. Right, okay, let me quickly catch up on chat. Hello everyone, to anyone that has joined since the beginning. Yeah, I think adding the Chinese texture at this point would be more logical than just having it in these special planes. Especially considering there's gonna be more Chinese planes being added, like the J11, J16, and I think there's also plans to add the J6. I haven't checked the Trello page in a while, so that could have changed, so don't take my word for it. But yeah, there's a lot of Chinese planes added, and having the F-16F Block 60 after the J8F, I don't really see why they did it, but I guess it's kind of logical, because then people could just like buy their way to a good top tier. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how the game progresses in the future. And yeah, okay, let me see what else has been added. Two new missiles, the PL5B, which is it seems like a rear aspect variant of the PL5C. Pretty interested to see how that one performs. If it performs anything like the PL5C, it's a pretty good missile for tier 6. And of course the AAM5, which was added on the F-15J and F-2A, and the AAM-5 has been reworked. A massive nerf. It's reached a new low, and it's faded out of the meta. No lol, and now the seeker matches the M9M. Well, if I'm not mistaken, it cannot be equipped on the... No, it cannot be. Okay, that would be a bit too good. Right. New engine sounds for the remaining tier 6 aircraft. I haven't really noticed that. And this is massive. It's now harder for most missiles to reach hypersonic speeds. This hopefully fixes the issue of being able to get aim on 20 kills from like 100 plus kilometers. Even if it's capable of that RL, I still think that it makes top tier a bit more introducible to newer players. And this is also massive. The Rafale C can now only carry 2 meteors. Makes it a bit less meta, but it's still a decent plane. The S-35S and the MiG-29 SMT can now carry the R-77M. Think of that as you wish. And the F-18C now isn't able to carry an N9X on a pylon that was used for spares. Only spares. The Tornado F3 got its meteor limit increased to 4. Very nice addition, and the meteor now actually kind of fits the meta, especially since it gets the interceptor spawn. So you spawn higher than most enemies, meaning you will get to altitude quicker. And of course, Link 16 has been added to the F2A. Previously, it only had a link that was compatible with other F2As, but now it obviously can communicate with most NATO and Western planes. And then we've got a couple of bug fixes. Yeah, I'll see if I'll probably include that in the video. And as you can see, they added the changelogs UI up here next to the chat button in between the player stat card and chat button. I think on mobile it's the same. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the update. Oh no, that's not it for the update. We have IRST targeting now. So IRST can guide infrared, can acquire infrared locks, and it can guide radar missiles. So if you want to have a bit of a stealthy gameplay, not really, since the enemy can still pick you up on radar, you can turn off your radar and switch to IRST targeting. Pretty interesting addition, but is it actually useful in some situations, I guess? If you're trying to like ground hug in the Eurofighter and not be detected by the enemy until it's way too late. Yeah, uh, I don't think I like the JTNC coming back. It's an extremely good plane. Well, not extremely good, it's not the best plane, but the PL-15, man, that's a really good missile. Especially against planes with a low countermeasure count, they might struggle to notch the PL-15. Especially if they don't have a missile approach warning. Now the SC-57 does have that, so notching is extremely easy in this plane. But for something like what has a low countermeasure count? This one has, both of them have really good countermeasure counts. I think this one has like around 100 chaff, this one has 100 chaff. Russian planes in general, 56 chaff, not too bad. 60, and of course 0 chaff. I think the nerf that makes the missiles much harder to reach hypersonic speeds makes the MiG-31 more enjoyable to play because obviously the missiles will have less energy once they reach you. Honestly, a nice addition. This one has 320 and these two both have a decent amount of countermeasures. So yeah, I don't think... Okay, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's take the J7E into a match. And we can test out the new Pill 5B. Let me quickly just purchase all these upgrades. 462 to buy them all. Elite costs 110 medals and Ace costs 275. Right. You can't play Wings of Glory due to the age restriction. Now there is a very clever workaround around this. You can make an account that's over 13 and then you set that account as the parent of your main account so you can change the permissions of games on your main account from the one that's over 13. I had to do this for this account because for whatever reason I decided to set the age of this account to like 3 years old, which is interesting. I don't know why I did this, but I guess I will never understand. Maybe I thought it was funny, but in reality it's not. Right, the J7E fish cannon. 4 missiles. Let's be the right belt so every shot counts. And if this thing's anything like in War Thunder, it's going to be absolutely nasty. Right, the energy retention is mediocre. But I'll have to see. Alright, okay, we have a decent RWR. This is actually not that bad in RWR. I really like it. Okay, let's pick on some poor A10. And for the first kill, I'm gonna try to get one with the gun. Okay, the sound is the same as with the energy. I mean, I haven't played this game in a while. There's my aim is off, don't know why. Now we have to deal with the F3. That's okay. We can. The fish can. Let's not die here. Yeah, the energy retention is actually not that bad. That's not mention. Your optimal speed is around 730. Wait, this is not a bad dogfighter at all. I think it's gonna fit the meta very nicely. And it gives the players a reason to play something else other than American. Right, and if the enemy doesn't see the missile, of course it's gonna hit them. So yeah, when I make a guide on this, which I first want to make a guide on the SU-57, because I still haven't done that. And I do want to make that as soon as possible. But you guys know how I feel about Top Gear. So I'm gonna have to see how I feel about that. Am I lagging or seeing again? Probably me. Yeah, definitely me. Let's not die here. Right. Help our teammate. Not sure what the flare resistance of this missile is. Oh, okay. I did not expect that again. Yeah, I can tell I'm gonna like this plane a lot. Okay, thank you, free. I ain't gonna. Oh, I guess I'll die to the inner here. Okay, the jump scared me a bit. I am going to try out the PLA and see how there's I think never mind. I thought I overread that thing. Yeah, honestly, I think this. If the F7. Oh man. The F7PG has aim and outs. That actually has. That's actually a good premium. Somebody's below or above me. I think it's that guy. Right, the reason why I don't reload is because 27 rounds is plenty of ammo for me. Let's energy charge this guy. Okay, we're gonna die here because there's no way that I actually hear this. Never mind. Okay, now I'm actually gonna let the DF free. Never mind, how am I not dead? I nearly got a shot in. Oh, okay, wow. I genuinely did not expect that again. Right, I'm at my... Okay. There were way too many people. Okay, let's quickly try out the PL8s. I think they are 40G missiles, 35. And it does not have rear slaving, which I guess was done to balance it out. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Ace, I'm not really sure I remember you. I think your other name is Chesslover9. If it is, then I do remember you. If it's not, then unfortunately I do not. I will show you how the IRST works. Most probably. I'll see how quickly the stream or how late it gets. Because I do want to also play the J8G and maybe, just maybe, the new era of F16. Okay, let's stop this Jaguar real quick. I am a bit laggy, so Okay, that only did 3% damage. Let me dive down for speed and then make myself a hard target for the F3. F3 overshoots. Let's push the PLA, and he's not gonna prepare that. Okay. Okay, he died to that. Maybe I would have been able to get a kill. But yeah, honestly, this thing in tier 7 is going to be a bit more interesting. In this tier, it's a very nice addition. In tier 7, I think it's gonna struggle a bit. I think it's gonna struggle quite a bit. Especially since it has no radar missiles. That's not too good. But I will have to try it out. Okay, let's... Is this the same guy? No, the 810 is down there. But he's gonna fly straight into my guns. I'm only gonna get a 3, but that's fine. I can always get another shot in. Unless I can. But I'm actually gonna die here. I don't die here. Maybe I... No, I don't die here. It's a 25. That nearly pulled in. That's not like his guns here. Okay, what am I doing? I'm throwing. Okay, I'm gonna crash. I think I'm gonna crash. Okay, that was very close. I was debating whether I should actually do that. That was way too close. Can't hit every shot. But I can't hit that one. Absolute cinema. Okay, that was uncomfortably close. I'm gonna try to get on his 6, never mind, he crashes into the... What is this thing called? This giant rock. Okay, gonna run out of chaff soon. And flares. But I'm not reversing that guy. Not in a million years. Actually, I'm just gonna let him get the kill. Never mind, he's gonna... I'm gonna let him get the kill because I want to try out the J7G. There we go. What is IRST? Now, I'm not too sure how it works exactly yet. So I do not dare say. I know it has... I know it's like a... Hold on, I can just look it up real quick. IRST. It's basically a sensor that detects infrared signatures. Will air-to-ground missiles be added? I honestly don't think so. Maybe. Maybe it will be. I don't know. We'll have to see. Right, I forgot to take PL8Bs. That's not fun. Right, is it gonna open up every time I launch the game? Pathogen 4, upgrade points, buy everything, and of course, elite. Right, let's take it for a spin. Now let's actually use the correct loadout. And we still have the one type 30, so yeah. I'm not wasting medals because I have an infinite amount of them. So am I really wasting them if I can't run out of them? I don't think so. Okay, that's thing 54. I'm gonna drop 2 chaff and it's gonna stop tracking. Oh, that's much closer. Hold on, it's much closer. But still not close enough for it to track. That's an F of J. I can constantly talk like that. Right, what I cannot do is win a Sark Joust because I don't have this type of missile. But what I can try to do is dogfight the F-14A. And I'm actually maintaining my optimal pretty decently. It's not perfect, like it's no F-16, but it still can be done. Okay, that was just disrespectful. But at the same time, I wasted a third of my ammo on an F-14. But that's made him climb to the ground. That's very nice. This F-14A is I'm gonna try to get a kill here. Okay. Got a block 40 here. That guy does not have radar missiles, so we don't have to worry about that. This guy's missiles fly to the ground. That's just right. Never mind, that hits. Chinese bias confirmed. part I am gonna be pretty blank since I don't know what that guy's gonna be doing. I don't want a name and them shoved up my ass. Can I make a video on the F or J after the buff? I guess I'm gonna see. Not really, I mean... Okay, that was very close. I don't plan on doing that. Not really. Because... I don't know, I think other planes still have the priority and I already made a video on that plane, so they haven't made a video on like a lot of planes. So yeah, I guess maybe in the future once I'm done with pretty much all the planes. And at this rate, if they keep adding planes so quickly, I'm not gonna be running out of them. Because I still have to make videos on like 9.0 aircraft, which is extremely fun. Hopefully top tier will be a bit more playable with the missile nerf. But then again, I just have to suck it up and learn how to play. I was 100% expecting that. That was a waste of 2 chaff. Make 31 BM video, nah. Maybe once I'm done with other top tier planes and I actually get the hang of it and become somewhat good at it. Because my criteria for being good in a plane is consistently being able to get good kill streaks or decent kill to death ratios. That was a waste of a J8. Or no, a P8, not a J8. I'm not launching planes from a plane. Hey, nearly pulled into that. Hey, is that guy gonna die? Oh, that's here. I did not expect him to be this far. Okay, he was done for. And my P8B cannot reach him. So I'm gonna regain my energy and put the dot as well. What is it? An F-15. Not too fond of dot fighting him, but he got taken care of by the F-16. But the MiG-25 will be added once its model is updated, which it kinda isn't right now. We don't know when Finn will like update the model. But it's important to give the devs time, and if we do, we're gonna there we go. Okay, that goes for my teammate. Classic. And I get killed by the 9M. Okay, F16F block 60. Right. 562 if I'm not mistaken for all upgrades. 546. Close. And the ordnance, we have the bombs. We have bombs. The SRAM, the M1X, the M120C7, and of course, M120C8. Can't forget about Elite and Ace upgrades. And that is pretty much it. Let's take it for a spin. Aim 7 nerf. Hold on, before going to match, I'm gonna take a look at that. I think the Aim 7 nerf is referenced to this. Otherwise, there's nothing mentioning the Aim 7. No, the MiG-25 will be added to Tier 7. I think it's been confirmed a little while ago. And whether it will actually have guns or not, I'm not sure. Right, let me quickly find it on the... Okay, it doesn't say that. Right, will I get put into a match or will I end up in a lobby alone? Right, am I alone? I'm not alone, but there's a bunch of people and I struggle a lot in these large lobbies. Right, let's not get demonetized with this rocket here. A9X, it can carry 6 IRs and 6 radar missiles. So, we're gonna take 5 of them. And let me find the Astron. This one is lighter, can pull more, is larger gimbal. This one has a, yeah, the 9X. We'll go for the 9X, just in case we get in gun range. Right, let's see what 1.3 thrust to weight ratio gets you. Landing at 50 degrees, I can get 60. Yeah, I can climb at 60. Okay. 65. Okay, I start to lose a bit of speed here. Never mind, I'm still getting speed. Right, let's go around 12 kilometers and then we'll sling a couple missiles. Should I or should I not? I will. And I will enter a pre-notch position just in case. Yeah, the SG-35 and the MiG-29 S&P got the R-77. Right, what is this guy doing? Is he on a mission to end himself? Okay, that's notched. Yep. Okay, now will my missiles reach? They're going to get Mach 3. So, alright, this guy is getting uncomfortably close. That got notched, I think. Never mind. Okay, that's very satisfying actually. Oh man, I absolutely hate the S-35. I absolutely hate that thing. I launched well over 10 R77Ms and not one hit. Mostly because other people got their... Mostly because people's missiles reached the enemy before mine did. Okay, it seems like I dispense 2 flares at a time. And, okay, that's concerning. Okay, that's 2 missiles. That's 3 missiles. That's a lot of missiles. I am not doing anything here. Wait, no, I'm not doing anything here. GG. Never mind, I am doing something here. Never mind, I'm not. Average day in top tier. Okay, let's climb a bit. Like, my first impression so far is that it's a very nice plane. I mean, decent RWR. Decent radar. Very good performance. Not F-15C Golden Eagle like, but still very nice performance. Very nice selection of missiles, though the maximum amount you can carry is a bit lacking. I don't think it's that much of a problem considering they are AIM-20Ds after all. Okay, now let's enter a pre-notch position, because I do not know if my missiles will hit or not. And while I'm going this fast, let me quickly use the opportunity to slay a couple more AIM-20Ds and the enemy. Because now I'm gonna slow down and prepare to notch a couple missiles. Of course. And we have data link. Not anymore because my teammate died. Okay, I'm gonna have to guide them in manually. That missile... that guy got killed. Okay, that thing got notched. Let's keep our distance to avoid having 4 missiles on us again. Okay, that missile is not gonna reach anybody. That missile might reach somebody. This guy... no, I'm not gonna watch him. Right, R77Ms in my vicinity. Line it nicely. Okay, that one is notched. Focusing. Focusing, that's 2 notched. That's 3 notched. That's 4 notched. Dodged a giant bullet there. I think that was 4 R77Ms. I genuinely don't know how I survived that. And there's more. Never mind, there's no more. I genuinely don't know how I notched all that. Okay, that's another one. That was much faster, but not fast enough. Right, that was like 6 missiles and I still have 130 chaff. Absolute cinema. Right, I need to rearm because I don't have any missiles. Okay. So apparently those weren't R77Ms. Whichever missile they were, I'm glad I didn't die. To like... how to use the Fallon? Short guide, climb to 11 kilometers and sling them from far away. And try to avoid getting close to the enemy as much as possible because only having 28 chaff, if I'm not mistaken, but that's actually not, we'll rearm later. 1, 2, 3, wait for the beacon to stop and turn around. Okay, I'm gonna climb at the north angle. That way, if this happens, I can just do this. Wait. Let's see. No, I will not meow on stream. I only don't like stream snipers if they make my experience unplayable. Like if 5 people at the same time just absolutely target me in my spawn, then obviously I don't like it. But if it's just one person, and if maybe they like send 1 or 2 missiles more than usual, that's fine. And if it's only one person, that's fine. But if it's like multiple and if they like coordinate themselves, okay, let's not die here. 1, 2, 3. 1, okay. Chef, there's no chefing sound. Not sure why that happens, but missile was chef successfully. Never mind, missile was not chef successfully. Missile was not chef successfully. Okay, let's go cold. That R77 is never hitting me. Okay, my aim on 20 disappeared. Not sure what happened with that one. Let's fly away for a bit more, because, okay, the R77... Okay, that's another missile. I'm gonna slow down, and I'm climbing. So slow down quicker, it's just not a fast burner. Right, how many missiles did I notch without dying? Had to have been like at least 10. Okay, that got notched last second. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, let's not die here. Okay, that got notched. One way you can tell if a missile got notched is if it suddenly like starts, the missile icon starts turning a bit. Like I'll show you the next time I get a missile coming towards me, which should be soon. Let's actually fire at different angles. So the enemy has notched two at the same time. Let's do the same thing again, but we only have one left, so we won't be able to do it. Right, okay, missile here. I'll drop two chaff, and you can see the missile starts to drift a bit. And once it starts doing that, I know that he has been chaffed. Let's hit our targets back on radar, so we can let our missiles know where to go. See, the missile started drifting a bit downwards, which means that it got notched. Right, okay, I got that guy, but that guy notched that. No problem, can't get every kill. And the round has ended. Okay, truthfully speaking, I need to do something. I need to take a quick break, so I'll return very shortly. Okay, I have returned. Hopefully you guys didn't die from boredom while I was away. Okay, before I get sick of top tier, I am actually going to play some other tier. I think that's the most fun I've had in top tier since the release of 9.0. Obviously, the first time 9.0 released, it was extremely fun because nobody knew how to notch, and you would just get kills every time you launched a missile. And then top tier became less fun for me because I had a skill issue. But I don't know if it's just this plane, or if it's the missiles, or if it's something else, but I really I enjoyed flying this, and I enjoyed playing top tier for the first time in a year. Obviously playing the SC35S was actually quite fun as well. But only once I reached the R77 once and R37Ms. R77 once, because when I made the video on it, it didn't have the R77M yet. I'm actually gonna go back to the J7E, because I had so much fun playing it. So hopefully I have as much fun recording for the SU57 as I had playing the Arab F16, because I have played it for a couple hours now. Yes, I do know the S35s are 77Ms. I did play the S57 for a couple hours, but I did not enjoy too much. I think I only got 2 or 3 kills, which I have all clipped. And those, 20 minutes of playing top tier in the F16? I think it was even less than 20 minutes. I think it was 10 minutes. Not sure how long it was. But I got 2 kills, and I notched over 10 missiles, well over 10 missiles. Even if I didn't rearm, I would have still been able to notch all of them. So yeah. But what do you guys generally think of events in Wounds of Glory? Because I have seen a lot of people complain that they are boring, which is like understandable. I mean, doing the same missions, or like similar missions for like 2 weeks straight, is not the most fun thing you can do in this game. I agree. I think like a event rework would have been nice thing. Okay, that was absolutely needed. Okay, first. That was absolutely poor trigger patience. And the Jaguar, by the way, is actually not that bad of a thing. Whoa. That's not a problem. That is a massive problem. But I think could be a nice rework. What did I say it like that? A rework for like updates is similar to the thing War Thunder has done. That is the you needing to get a certain amount of score. Doesn't matter which plane it is, but you have to get a certain amount of score. Okay, I'm still figuring out this radar. Or not radar, RWR. No, I made the same mistake as a large majority of, or not a large majority, a decent chunk of the player base. This F4. That is problem. Wait, that's an F4F. Okay. For a second I thought I read F4E. And when I saw the M9L I got a bit confused. Okay, let's try to get the got a kill somehow. Yeah, the P15, I mean, I guess the drag rework or something like that really made it less usable. Right, let's see what we can do here. Oh, that was a poor shot. I sound uninterested. I guess I can see why you think so. I mean, I'm not an overly energetic person, and I can contain my excitement pretty well. And sometimes I just forget or forget. Sometimes I just, when I'm really focused in situations, I don't speak because I'm way too focused in the situation like I am right now. That's why I'm not talking. Because I'm trying to provide decent gameplay. Okay. Okay, that's my engine gun. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm an introvert. Even though, like, over the past year, I've become much more social. In real life, of course. But still, there's times when I don't feel like talking or, like, don't dare to speak. Obviously, on streams, I feel like talking. But I'm not like those YouTubers that promote free Roblox websites that talk in the annoying TikTok voice. Like, here's how to get free Robux. Like, I don't... Yeah, like, even if I forced myself to use like a very energetic voice, I wouldn't be able to do it. And my throat dries up pretty quickly, so I always have a glass of water next to me while I'm streaming. And when I take these breaks while streaming, sometimes I just go to refill my water or like quickly go to stretch my legs. Because even when I sit like 45 minutes in a classroom, my legs just stiffen up really badly and I have to stretch. But that's not why you're watching this stream. You're watching because of the new update that's been added to Wings of Glory, right? I'm gonna quickly take a look at the updated AAM5s and see what they changed. As well as take a look at the new AM5B, which I forgot to buy, meaning I will have to go back to the lobby to buy it. Very fun. Right, will this server load? what's my take on the new update? I honestly think it's extremely good. Like, I think it went a bit, the development went a bit under the radar, you could say, because there was much, much more hype for the version 9.3 update, and a lot more people knew what was going to be added. Like, after 9.3, for some time, there were no new additions planned in the trailer page. So people, after they saw that, they probably were, okay, we have 9.3, we're gonna enjoy it. And once they did add version 9.3.1, it was only planned to have the J7G and F16F and IRST guidance, if I'm not mistaken. Then they added the J7E, the F7PG, and all of those changes and nerfs slash buffs for all missiles included in the changelog. When it comes to the Rafale only having 2 meteors, with the range nerf or the speed nerf, I think it was a bit unnecessary, but I mean, you still have the Mika EMs and the Mika IRs, as well as amazing performance, a good RWR, a good radar, and I'm not sure if it has a missile approach warning. I think it does. If I am wrong, please correct me. Okay, let's see. AAM5 now has a max G-pull of 50. The same with this one. This one also has a mid-course and lock-on after launch. The field of view is the same, while the gimbal is double. But let me just... By the way, if you experience this bug where hovering over the ordnance doesn't show the picture, you just have to spawn in and J out, and then the pictures will be there. So if that bothers you, you can do that. Preferably in free flight, because in a regular match it actually counts towards your total death counter. And if you care about your kill to death ratio, then that's not the best, obviously. Right, same weight, same booster, both have radar slaving, but this one obviously has a much better seeker. So yeah. So which has better range, R77M or R77-1? Obviously the R77M. The R77-1 has these fins on the back, you could say, those black things that noticeably increase its drag. So yeah, I think the S35 and the MiG-29 SMT getting the R77, R77, sorry, R77M is an extremely good addition, and it makes balancing top tier. It balanced out top tier a bit for Russia, so I'm not complaining about that. You don't see much utility for IRST in top tier. Well, top tier, the IRST, not top tier, can be used to launch active radar homing missiles and provide mid-course guidance for them. So if you're like ground hugging, for instance in the Eurofighter, you can turn off the radar and switch to IRST tracking. Hold on. Okay, this one has IRST. That way you won't show up on the enemy's RWR, so there's less of a chance that they will launch a missile at you. Of course, if they still pick you up on the radar, they'll obviously launch missiles at you because you're a low-flying plane and people love those, especially in top tier. But yeah, I guess for like stealthier gameplay. Not stealthy gameplay, but gameplay that's a bit more stealthy. Okay, those were all the event planes. Or no, the newly added planes. I would like to mention the next update that's gonna come out in like October. I'm taking this information from the Trello page, official Trello page. For Wings of Glory. So for version 9.4.1, we have a Mirage 4000 event. Now the Mirage 4000 was a bit of an experimental French jet that can carry a decent amount of missiles. I'm looking at the picture that's pinned here. I think I will switch the... Hold on, let me just find this here. You can see this is the image pinned in the official Trello page. We can see here the Matra R530, so the 530D and 530F. Those are the radar missiles. By the looks of it, okay, we cannot zoom in. By the looks of it, we can carry 2 here, as well as 2 on the center pylon. Not sure if this is a graphical bug, but I'm guessing it's not. So we're gonna be able to equip 4 of those, and then we have the Yamacha R550 or the Magic 2s, which we'll be able to equip on the outermost pylons. So 6 missiles total, Magic 2s, 530Ds or Fs, 230mm cannons, and as far as I'm aware, decent performance. It has 2 engines, so yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, okay, it says here 4 Super 530s. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that, especially since it's a tier 7 plane, and it will be the first non-top tier event plane since October, when we had the F4D. Okay, let me quickly switch back to Roblox. There we go. Right, so if there's like any plane you guys would want me to check out now. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna end this stream soon and start working on the update video. Yeah, I mean, if you turn off your radar, your situational awareness does get reduced. I'm not sure if you can like see multiple targets on your IRST, like the way you can see with the radar before you lock someone, or while you're locking someone if you have a track others while in STT mode radar, if your radar has that mode. F16F, I played the F16F for like 20 minutes earlier in stream. So if you want to take a look at that, it's actually not it's actually pretty good. I personally enjoyed it. Not sure if it's because I have a bias towards Western technology or if it's actually just that good. Right, is the Golden Eagle any good? Well, let's take a look at it. We have insane performance. This thing can maintain Mach 1 with full payload, so that's 8 MRAMs. while climbing at an 80-degree angle. It can maintain Mach 1 while doing that. Extremely good. Can carry 4 M20Ds and 4 M20 C7s. If you climb to like 11 kilometers, which should be a walk in the park, you can comfortably take out multiple enemies, and you have good data link. You have M9 access, so in the case you get close to the enemy, you can use those, and you have a decent amount of chaff. On the other hand, oh yeah, and it doesn't have it. Hold on, does it have a missile approach warning? Is it even stated here? I think it is. Yeah, it is. It is, okay. And it doesn't have IRST. The RWR is decent, and the radar is one of the best in this tier, range-wise. Okay, so a lot of people also want to go for the F15E. Performance-wise, I think the F15E climbs better, but it's meant more for like a strike roll instead of a air dominance roll. Like this thing can carry 4 M20Ds, this thing can not carry them. Same countermeasures. Better other RWR. You have the tactical electronic screen, warfare screen, and the radar. I'm not sure if it's better, but both are very good radars. That's the only thing you should know. And this thing has IRST. But since it's so big, since the RCS is so big, you won't be able to like utilize it for stealth gameplay and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, it has bombs. So F15E for like base bombing, F15C if you're going to use it in duels, because it does have 2 more degrees of turn rate at its peak. And the max speed is a bit higher, but that's not really that noticeable because the F15E has stronger engines. So yeah, F15C for duels, and the air dominance, F15E for base bombing. Right. F15C video is expected to come out after the SU57, and I'm not sure how I will do it after the SU57, because my initial plan was to make a video on the J8F, then F18, then SU7B, then F15C or F15E, not sure, one of those two, then I-28, then the other F15, then I think I was gonna go do the F104, and then F14. Yeah, that was my initial plan, but of course now we got the S16F, J7G, J70, and F7PG. So I'm not sure how I will be carrying out these uploads, but the SU57 is 100% going to be my next video, no doubt about that. Maybe I'll just like make a poll. Do you want me to make a video on the F16F or on the J8F? I think the F16F will win, and then I'll make one on the F18, J8F, or J7E. I'll see. I'll see how it goes. Or maybe I'll just add them to the list, so they will go to the bottom. Yeah, and I'll continue with my initial plan before 9.4. Alright. Oh yeah, a quick F18 guide. This thing does not climb as well as some other planes. But if you side climb or even back climb at a 40-degree angle, even with a full load at Mach 1, I think you'll be able to get to altitude without a problem. It's also extremely good in duels. It has a AOA limit remover and of course bombs. So it's an extremely good multi-role aircraft. The RWR and the radar are decent, I think. And the countermeasure count is not the highest. I mean, 60 is manageable. But yeah, not the best choice for top tier America. I still think the F-15C Golden Eagle is better, performance-wise at least. I mean, obviously the F-15C Hornet can carry 8 A120Ds. I'm not sure if it can still carry 10 after the nerf, which... Hold on. Okay, that's a bug. Where is it? No. Here. F-18C fixed being able to carry M9X and 1 times missile violence for anything but spares. So now it can only carry 8 M120Ds. Still a lot. But not as good. Is there a big difference between C7, C8, and D? The D version has better range and a better seeker, but not noticeably better. Like it's not the difference between the 120B and 120C7. The difference is not that big, but it's big enough to be noticeable, a bit noticeable. Oh, and the C8, I think, has almost the same seeker as the 120D. So it's basically an export 120D. The C7 is 100% the worst of those three, and the D is probably the best. Not too sure if the C8 has the better sustainer that the 120D has. I don't think it has that. So that's why the 120D is still better. Should you get R77M for the S35? Honestly, the R77 1 and the R37M combo is still good in this meta, but obviously having the 77M is much better. If you can afford it, go for it. If you can't, stick to the 77 one. Do I think the F14D will be added? Well, it is planned to be added. Let me just quickly show it. Okay, hold on. Okay, it does not want to switch tabs. Okay, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. The F14D Tomcat is planned in the Trello page. It will have a better radar, M54D and Link 16 capability, as well as dumb bombs, or retard bombs, or drag bombs. as well as the F14C, which will be an event plane. And it will have AIM-54Ds and the IIR version of AIM-95. So interesting to see how that will be implemented. But yeah. Right, okay, I have 22 viewers right now. That's the most this stream. Okay, any more questions before I start making the video? Right, if there's no more questions, I guess I should also mention F16. You can watch my F16CM Block 42 Plus video to learn more about it. They're not too different. Of course, F14B is not. I'm gonna go in more detail once I actually make a video on those planes. Right, which planes do I want to see in the game? I would really like to see the G91R, the Italian one, which could get added as a strike aircraft to the German line. The G91R3, which has 30mm cannons in Tier 5. Otherwise, I don't really think much about which planes I want to see added. Maybe more Mustang versions, or like versions of this iconic or late props. Maybe something Russian. Maybe the MiG-21 F-13, now that we have the J-7. I think that would be an interesting addition. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else I'd like to see. Maybe the T2 as a premium, but no. I don't think it would fit the meta of the game. Oh yeah, the FW190 F8, maybe. And if we're lucky enough, we could get the X4 Ruhrstyle, like we do in War Thunder, but that's just... I don't think it will get added, but it would be nice to see. Maybe we could put it into like level 8. A prop with Cyclos guided missiles. Yeah, I mean, the MiG-21 F-13 wouldn't be the greatest plane, but if I'm not mistaken, it's actually on the trailer page somewhere. Yeah, it is. 30 rounds of NR30 ammo and R3S capability. So, judging from these facts, I think it would go into Tier 5. If that does happen, I think it will be like plopped down here. And again, I don't think it would be that good of a plane, especially if it has similar performance to the J7E. In that case, an experienced player would easily be able to outrate it in the MiG-15, or it could be caught by the F-104. Like, it would be fast, but it wouldn't be the greatest dogfighter. Right, okay, SU-34. Now, the SU-34 is debatable because some people say it does not have an RWR, some people say it does have an RWR. From my research, many sources said it does have an RWR, but some say it only has the SPO or the L150 pastel and then some numbers, which is like a tool to launch anti-radiation missiles, which I think some people mistake for an RWR, and I'm not even sure it can carry active retrocombat missiles. So it would be plopped into level 11 possibly, and it would just be a really heavy flanker. So I don't think it would be the greatest addition. Would be a cool one, but I don't think it has a place in this game. Especially since having no RWR in level 11 is not the greatest. Yeah, I mean, some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. I'm gonna I'm not gonna say much more on this topic because I'm not an expert. Yeah, I just won't mention it again. Forget I said anything. How do I have so much money? Will I have infinite medals? And they've given me infinite medals for content creation, which has helped me out a ton. Especially since I don't really have that much time to grind out all these new planes. So having infinite medals and instantly being able to buy any plane, all missiles and all modifications has been extremely helpful. Like it's the only reason why I was able to upload weekly on a weekly basis during the summer holidays. Yeah, I know it's hard to hear my voice sometimes. I can't really put my microphone any closer to me, and I kind of like sit back away from the microphone, so there's a decent amount of distance between them. Should you get the EF2000? Absolutely. Again, I'm not an expert on the S34, so forget I said that it doesn't have an RWR. Let's pretend it does, so we can end the debate. I'm not gonna comment on that anymore. Right, okay, there's no more questions, so at this stage I am gonna thank everyone that joined for this a bit for this short stream. Well, I mean hour 40, that's not really that short. So yeah, I think it's a pretty short stream compared to my other streams. So yeah, I'll thank you for watching, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll start working on the update video so you're like caught up even if you didn't catch the stream. Right, again, thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon. Have a nice day.